That's what I could do. Yes. Yes, 2 times. Y'all know the vibes though. Like, ooh la la, she go, ooh la la, we go, ooh la la, they like, ooh la la, okay, ooh la la, she like, ooh la la, they go, ooh la la, they like, ooh la la. Looking for M's like I lost a friend. Hop out of the bed like, where's the bread? What it do, people? You're now tuned in. Popovich. Popovich TV. We live, we rolling, we unscripted, we authentic, that feeling. Back up in here one more again. So if it's your first time, I'm asking, where you been? Over here, we deal with sports, hip hop, entertainment, Popovisms 101, and motivation. If that sound like something you can rock with, then before you hit stage left, know what I mean? Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, smash that notification bell so when I upload the videos, you get alerted. You get alerted when I upload the videos. And if it's not your first time, and you've been rocking with the channel, then you know how I do. You know how I like to start the show. Tony, there was no other way. We in the end game now. We in the end game. We in the end game, people, because apparently, unfortunately, news is coming out of the hip hop community, the hip hop world, where rapper Young Thug, his kid's mother, his baby's mother, you know what I mean, Lakeitha, I believe, Jackson was gunned down outside of a bowling alley in Atlanta, ATL. I told you that's one of my favorite places. Um, Allegedly, maybe kinda sorta over a fight or argument that took place, at the bowling alley. And obviously the headlines could be a little salacious and a little, over embellished. And when you break it down to the very last compound, I wouldn't be surprised if it's over as some of the, the story headlines, like I said, that I've seen that says she died over a bowling ball. You know what I mean? And when you hear stories that come out and be like, nah, in prison real quick, while we talking about this and we building up, and you see the masses on, because, you know what I mean? It's cold out here. Niggas is Persian, and it's The Walking Dead. People just do a lot of things and then they blame it on whatever they want to blame it on to not take accountability and accept, what they did or admit their wrongs. But it used to be a big thing inside, and I reference that a lot because you learn a lot of, well, I learned, I'm not going to say you, I learned a lot of life lessons by, going up top and being in prison, etc. But people used to be like, yeah, we killed them over a chicken bone. You know what I mean? Like, we killed them over a chicken bone. And you'd be like, nah, it's not the chicken bone, it's the principle. And again, I was not there. And, before I go any further, condolences and obviously rest in peace to the Jackson family. I know it's tough right now to hear, the mother on the call and then, they hearing her, you know what I mean? Obviously, like the next story we're going to get to is just crazy. Niggas really living out these wild fantasies or whatever people putting in their head, and then they doing this shit, and then it's, oh, you know what I mean? I'm mental in the mind, insane in the membrane, and I'm just, I'm just crazy. You know what I mean? Like LeBron was doing the other day, I'm just crazy. But over a bowling ball, over an argument, over a misunderstanding, the thing is that it's a dude that came back, shot, you know what I mean? Shot up, obviously, ambushed. That's another word that they use, and that he ambushed her, and I don't doubt it. It's just the whole thing. Obviously, is senseless, right? It's a senseless murder. Obviously, they have a child together, I believe, a son. 14 years old, and you lose your mom who's 31, so only only twice your age, really. You know what I mean? And it's just like, damn, over an argument, a misunderstanding, because a dude couldn't, reframe himself or not get so mad and in your feelings and operate on just a a bugged out level. You know what I mean? Not thinking, irrational. So where you're gonna come back and you're going, you know what I mean, 187, or come back and shoot up a woman. Now again, I don't know because I wasn't there. Just the story is very vague. You know what I mean? It just said it was an argument, a fight broke out. Well, who was fighting? Was he fighting her? Did they physically fight? Was it one of the people she was with, a cousin or whoever, bump him, or the ball went the wrong way? I'm sure more come out because they don't have the perk yet. Hopefully they get it quick. But it's just like, damn, it's senseless. You know what I mean? And then again, it's like because you couldn't communicate, or you couldn't, you know what I mean, negotiate. Like it's not that serious. It's always 0 to 60 real quick, and people play how it's no fucks given. And I talk about it often on this channel, so you can pick out any other videos that I've done and be like, oh nah, Lee always talking about, oh but you're black, and just even taking it a step further. And I always reference that plainly. You know what I mean? Shout out to Joe Pesci and Lethal Weapon, because that's where the line come from. But it's serious in the sense of, yeah, I live around those that are black, even if they light skin color like me. You know what I mean? So this is my experience. So that's why I always talk about that first. But then I take it a step further because everything is not black and white. It is shades of gray. And some people throw a little living color, you know what I mean, and change the picture up how they see fit. So I'm not stuck when it comes like, oh, it's this, it's that. Like, nah, it's in between, it's out, it's different, case scenarios, and every square don't fit in every, hole or square or whatever. So you have cases where it's like, oh, nah, that's different. But I said that to say, you know what I mean? Humans just be doing each other filthy. It's like, whoa. You feel pain. You know what I mean? Shit hurt when you hit your knee or you hit your funny bone and that shit is not funny. So for you to, to do foul stuff to people, you know what I mean? Especially causing them physical harm, you know what I mean? And come back with intentions of murdering, you know what I mean? Or some, can't say you accidentally murdered, came back and wasn't going to use it. Like you pull a gun, you expect to use it. But to shoot up a female, it's like, that's why everybody was with the Tory Lanes and like, oh, you shot a woman and you shot Meg. Like, oh, what? Niggas don't do that. So it's like, what you doing? And, what's unfortunate, Atlanta is, Wakanda forever, plainly I'm saying that. And like I said, that's one of the places that I've been to mad times, like Houston, Atlanta, Vegas, like, you know what I mean, on some Drake shit, like, you know what I mean, those areas. And it's just sad, but it's savagery. It's savagery. Like the next story, you know what I mean? Again, rest in peace to her, condolences, you know what I mean? May the Most High get them through this grievous time, you know what I mean? Because this is a hurtful time, like, you know what I'm saying? Like this next story, coming out of the Bronx, like New York, like is New York in the house? Is Brooklyn in the house? Uptown in the house? Shouting like the Knicks won tonight. They ain't cover that 6-point spread, but put some respect on the Knicks name. Real quick though, you know what I mean? Because this next story is crazy. Just like that's crazy. It's senseless. But this one might be even senselesser. You know what I mean? I can see if it's this one, maybe not. Greed. But shout out to the Knicks for winning. You know what I mean? So this next story coming out of NYC, the Bronx, BX stand up. You know what I mean? When I used to live in the Bronx, we got burned out of the Bronx, and that was the story I was telling y'all about when the fire happened in the Bronx with those people that lost their lives, you know what I mean? And those 17 people, etc. You know what I mean? May the Most High have mercy on them and still walk their families through the tough times. But I was recanting the story I had when I was 5. Funny shit about it. My mom was just FaceTiming me today real quick. I love you, mom. It's my show. I do what I want. We unscripted. We authentic. Yeah, it's no set formats. And she was like talking about the fire because there's a fire on my block. You know what I mean? Damn it, man. There's a lot of shit going on. You know what I mean? People I know was affected, got to move out and be in the shelter. So that's why this shit is relevant. But anyway, she was FaceTiming and she was like, yeah, such and such had a fire. And I'm like, oh, word? Seen that shit on the news. I ain't know it was them. And she like, you remember when we was in the fire? I'm like, yeah, I talked about that on the show. You know what I mean? And she gave me more details because I like I said, I was a kid. I really didn't remember. You know what I mean? Where it was at, you know what I mean? Webster, what floor we was on, so the detail. I'm like, oh, okay, that's why it happened like this. But, we made it through. All praises. Count your blessings. You know what I mean? Never close the door on your blessings. But anyway, happy Friday. You know what I mean? Friday night, Friday vibes. So this story coming out of the Bronx. Some chick named Valerie Rosario. And that shit sound mad, wild, familiar. Because, a lot of them be having the same names and shit. Mad Rodriguez and Rosarios, and you know, when I used to do taxes and work in the office, I used to do a lot of people taxes in the Heights, and you know, on Fordham Road, they used to move us around, so I was in a lot of areas doing this type of work here, and that's why I'm referencing. Like, I know they names be, you know what I mean, El Sequitur and all this other shit. But anyway, this young lady here, you know, meets a man on IG. You know what I mean? Obviously, he thought he was going to get some buns, probably, maybe, kind of, sort of, hitting on the bat line, or in this case, jumping in the DMs, like, you know what I mean? To the beans, and stretch, keep it going to the beans. Thought he was going to be getting some bins. And unfortunately for him, you know what I mean? It was a setup. And, you know, they abducted him, took him in the crib, did him dirty, had him for 24 hours, you know, burnt him, put flammable shit on him, you know, stabbed him up, cut his face, did him dirty, you know what I mean? Like, did him all the way dirty, like a movie, you know what I mean? Like, this shit is a movie, but once the lights go off, you ain't gonna come back on. You not that strong, and you knew it was wrong, but you asked for it, baby. It's a DMX reference, and I'm being funny, but I'm all the way not. He's clinging in life, so you know, may the higher power bring him through. You know what I mean? It's crazy ordeal when they found him inside the van, still with the would-be kidnapper. Like, can't make this shit is idiocy. You know what I mean? At this point, like, you know what I mean? Clinging to life, taped up and all that, and you know, they wanted to get bail. Says she not a flight risk. She live with her moms, works in the dentist's office. You know what I mean? Distant dental assistant. And it's like, damn, you know, on IG, you a dentist. You know what I mean? Or you a dentist assistant, I should say. You know what I mean? Or whatever you doing in there. You know what I mean? Setting up and shit. You thinking they got 100,000, and y'all, you know what I mean? Book them, set them up, abduct them. And we see this shit play out a lot. Like, art imitates life, life imitates art sometimes. When you see these movies or you hear about these stories, you know what I mean? It's like, damn. Did he tell her he was in the money? Was he showing on Instagram, fronting, like, you know what I mean? When he really didn't have it, you know what I mean? That was a rental. Wasn't even his, you know what I mean? It's the lady right here, though. I mean, look at the story and shit. So this the lady right here. I know sometimes on the joint they be looking crazy. So that's the lady right there, you know what I mean? Young lady. The dude's 22 at that, so, you know, you fresh off. You can't be fresh off. You work in the dentist. And I can't speak for all. I didn't meet a lot. Definitely met a few, especially the ones that just come over here from, you know, other places. They could be a little naive. They could be a little green, like green Gucci suit, green. And I could speak from, you know, a perspective or a person that was green as well, even though I'm from here, from the city, from the town. When you get taken away and you do time and you do an extended amount of time, you can lose some of the, you know what I mean, the instincts, the flair. You can lose a lot to where you're green, like, oh shit, I ain't know. And you got to get put back on, like, you know what I mean? Like, you got to, can I be down? Somebody got to school you to what's what, so that you don't get got, you know what I mean? And in this case here, you know, I have experience as well with running through those transactions and type, you know what I mean, situations where you playing and you paying, or you woo and because you ain't with the, you know what I mean? It's easier, you know what I mean? It's different, whatever. You running them streets, you single, you living your life, you doing what you want. And this one, them joints was popping, like the pages, the back, you know what I mean? The other little sites and all that shit. I can imagine what it's like now after the pandemic. Prices go down, niggas not hitting that back line no more, you know what I mean? Or they spent the clip already. Like the other show, the other light-skinned nigga, you spin the clip, so they checking for something else. And it's Dryington, you know what I mean? It's Desert Harris Dryington. And now you get that one hit, you know what I mean? Or you get a little two hits and you screen them, or you profile them, or you vet them, or whatever you do. And you think because you see him with a little rental or a couple of dollars to the phone, holding the money to the phone and all that, and you book him, or you think you book him, and you just throw your whole life away. Especially, I mean, whether he died, he don't. Just kidnapping and obviously torture is just crazy. But to call, FaceTime, call his brother, you know what I mean? His brother got to see him, stabbing him. And it's just some crazy shit, you know what I mean? And this New York is wild, like, you know what I mean? Like Detroit, like Atlanta, like a lot of fuckery places. Like everywhere you go is it's a hood and it's a ghetto, like, you know what I mean? And It's rough in the GHETTO. Like a lot of niggas die because of a bitch or their ego. Like, you know what I mean? Learn how to say no and Evo and see no. That's a Jada reference. Like you definitely could get caught up out there, you know what I mean, over your ego or over a bitch, you know what I mean, or over some small paper. And just to think in the era of, the average niggas, the average women or whatever, and there's no picture of him, you know what I mean? Not that I seen in the joint, you know what I mean? But if you an average dude or whatever the case, you non-existent in here. Like bitches want you to be quiet and you know what I mean? Don't say nothing. Just shut up. Like, just shut up on some 10 toes. Shout out to my nigga 10 toes. That's just shut up. Like, just be quiet. Like, silence, I say. And that's bomb shit. Silence. Don't say nothing. So you really invisible. And I say that to say that you got to be online or be on these different type of sites just to try to get some buns. Like, that's a hard road to be walking. And then if you're not familiar or you naive or you blind to the fact, like, you know what I mean? And then you walk into the Bronx, like, you know what I mean? And there's 100 niggas and, you know what I mean? 100 clips and 100 guns from New York. And now you booked, and this happens to you. But this happened all the time. Like, you know what I mean? Another story out of the NFL. Y'all know sports, hip hop, interviews, entertainment, popavisms 101. So Gus from the Ravens, you know what I mean? He got booked coming out of the strip club, I want to say in Texas, you know what I mean? Houston, Van Lakers, you know what I mean? And booked them for the watch, 80,000 or 25,000 piece or whatever. You go on with a joint, people start fighting, you know what I mean? You pull up with the Lambo, you know what I mean? And you looking real, you know what I mean? Like money, you know what I mean? You looking like you a chicken dinner as well. And when you out like that, if you rolling like that, obviously you want to have bodyguards or security. You don't want to be rolling for dolo unless you know what I mean, you moving like that. Like some people can move in a room full of vultures and not have no problems, you know what I mean? Because they just respect it on that level. It is levels to it, you know what I mean? And I'm not a killer, but don't push me, you know what I mean? And I may not be, but I may know, you know what I mean? And it's not, you know what I mean, who you with, or, you should definitely stand on your own. But the point is, men know what it is. Like you say, nah, let me, you know what I mean? There's levels to this. I'm in this status, but yeah, he a little more respected, or he a little more well connected, or he a little more in the loop. So put your pride aside. Let me get on the back line, like, yo, we going over here, ooh, oh, you know about such and such. There's nothing wrong with that because it's at the end of the day, it's about safety. You know what I mean? And the same thing with dealing with chicks and all. You meet a chick offline, you know what I mean? And you pulling up on the crib, you know what I mean? Especially if it's for a transaction and you don't know what you could be getting into. You definitely could be walking into a jokes and fall into a death trap. You thought you was going to get some Bunningtons, but no, you go in and get Robbington and dug for your, you know what I mean, your Benjamin Franklin's. Take everything out and it is what it is. Hollow. You know what I mean? Take you for your Benjamin Franklin's. Like everything get emptied out the clip just because you wanted some buns. So, it's like I said, hopefully he pulled through. But the Gus dude, he just got robbed. He could have got booked for everything. I mean, he got booked for everything, but he could have got kidnapped. Could have took everything from like this dude. You know what I mean? He clinging to life in the back of a van. Duct taped and gagged with stab wounds and cuts to his face and burns on his face. Like they really thought they was gonna get 100,000. Like you really thought nigga was just the movies and they waiting with the gun and all that for the money to transfer into the account, and then all of a sudden you a trillion real, you know what I mean? You a trillion 100,000 richer, you know what I mean? And then now you can, go off into the sunset. Shit ain't working like that. You be better off, you know what I mean? Like you wilding. And then again, did they put her up to it? Did she try to say, they made me do it? Like who made you do it? You know what I mean? Like they said they would kill my family. Who said they would kill your family? Kareem Akbar. He is the true leader of the CNB, and if I'm going down, I'm taking everybody down with me. Like, come on, bro. You need more people. Niggas ain't trying to hear that. Like, you know what I mean? Shorty, you should have, you know what I mean? And again, it's just sad. So Gus got robbed for, he worked hard to get in the NFL, and the thing is, as a kid, doing juxes and booking people for their chains. You know what I mean? And to me in the hood, that always was a sign, you know what I mean, of, yeah, like You know, or even in prison, you see people that have that show that they was tough, or they had the boxing glove, and you do got to show you tough in certain areas and certain times. That's just what it is because humans gonna be human. So sooner or later, push gonna come to shove, especially if you're younger. You know what I mean? And you in these environments. But I say that to say having the chains and all that. If you wasn't, you know what I mean, known for it, like you gonna get booked, and they's gonna try to come book your shit. So that always was like, yeah, come book me or come try me. Because on the other end, it's like, you know what I mean? Sent your little mans to come kill me. But on the contrary, I packs the Mac Millie, squeezed off on him, left the paramedics breathing soft on him. What's your name? Who shot you? Like it goes the other way as well. Like people could come, you know, you're gonna have those stick up kids and people that's out to get a rep and they come get what they come get, but then it's also the side with hoes saying like, yeah, on the contrary, and now you know, you live by the gun, you die by the gun. So you left, you know what I mean, with the Grim Reaper coming for you, like, oh shit, thought I had to drop. Oh no, you didn't. You thought you got shot. Like, who shot you? And now you shot. You know what I mean? And it could go either way, but the point is, always view that as like tension, like yeah, because you never know you shining and you know what I mean. It's like having a show or something, or being an actor. You always hear famous people say, you know, most people know them, you know, and not everybody, but you get they're known for a reason, where they don't see all the eyes that see them, but we see them because it's only one of them, and it's all of us that's tuned into them. So you know, you out and you in the chain and you partying, or you flashing and you that nigga, and you know what I mean. You that type of guy, like you LL, you that type of guy. You know what I mean? And she and the vibes in that guy, and you don't know who's watching. You don't know what chicks is coming up and bumping. You know, you don't know what's going on. And you know, when you're going out, you want to have a good time and not even be worried about that. At least me, that's one less thing you got to worry about. But when you are iced up and you drippity drip, you never know when you're in certain places. And again, if you don't got security, if you don't got police, if you at that level, then you need to move like that. But obviously, Gus, you know what I mean, came out allegedly, sort of, kind of, maybe it was four masked men with the blickies. Like, yeah, give it up. Take off your watch, your chain, the Wallies, take off the Wallows, take off everything. Leave you butt naked, slap you in the butt. Well, I mean, New Jack City, like when he had when he had that shotgun to his nigga neck and he's walking up the block, like you gonna keep them apartment keys and you gonna do what we ask you to do, right? You know what I mean? Scared for your life. And again, it can happen to anybody in any borough. That's why, you know, the more you have when you live amongst poverty, or people just feel like you could possibly, maybe, kind of, sort of be a come up, they don't mind doing the risky thing. But you know, it's always cool when you got the gun. You know what I mean? But when the other person, you know what I mean, like I'm gonna get you either way, and it's better to give. So let me get what's in your sock, because it's better to give than to receive. Believe when I tell you when I tell you. Don't make me put you nowhere where nobody can smell you. Like, yeah, like that part. You know what I mean? Shout out to everybody on the block that was affected in the building and all that. They in the shelter and shit. Let's talk about some other shit though, real quick. Like, you know what I mean? Seen Jamel Hill, you know what I mean? And yeah, Jamel Hill from ESPN. That's how I found him. Liked him, not even going cap. You know what I mean? Not even going cap. Like I ain't like her show, her and her. What was it? He and her, his and hers. You know what I mean? It was some political shit, and then it was the numbers or men lie, numbers lie. But anyway, I fucks with them. I did a video on them a few times. You know what I mean? And how they work with ESPN, who on there. You know, I'm tuned into the shit because we bet every day. Chicken dinners, winner, winner. But she coming out like a lot of people, and again, it's, you know what I mean. I'm be amazed at how divided and just how silly some of the stuff be. And I get, you know, it's money to be made. It's eyes and ears. You know, people screaming for attention, and it's all for sale. But I think it's blown out of proportion a lot. You know what I mean? And that's, you know, the Sexes War, which was the War of the Roses was a great movie with Michael Douglas. I forget who his female counterpart was, his wife. You know what I mean? But great movie. You know what I mean? And to the end, to the death, like, and that's how it went out. And that's a spoiler because it's an old movie. But the, you know, the war, the sexes, the men. But anyway, Jamel Hill, I follow on Twitter, and I told y'all Twitter is the place that keeps, you know, you check the temperature, you see what people are saying on these social media streets, running through these social media platforms. So she like, I just want to watch a whole lot of podcasts of, you know, just black men belittling black women. I mean, it's like, I get it, I kind of get it, maybe, kind of, sort of, but I really don't. And the thing is, I just start running up on YouTube and, running through these channels, learning on the man's fear, the women's fear, the pink pill, the red pill. You the Pink Panther now. Like, you know what I mean? This shit is funny to me. Like, you know what I mean? So I get a kick out of it, some of it. And some of it's learning. And that's why I talk about it. You know what I mean? Maybe trying to put my spin on it for people that may not get it. I'm sure some people like me. You know what I mean? And so I'm talking to you, whoever rock with the channel. You know what I mean? Good looking. I just think it's just a lack of accountability, you know what I mean, on their part. I really do when it comes to certain issues. And obviously, Kevin leading the way, and you got mediocre tutorial reviews, you got the Duke Jacksons, you got a couple other people, Coach Greg Ad. That's who I rock with. These the Manosphere, the other guy, think of his name, Bernard or whatever it is. And the other light skinned niggas spin the clip. Yeah, they got channels where these is the main topics, and that's why I don't come on here every day and woo this person now. I can't really do that every day. Like, I mean, that shit is a headache talking about women every day and the headaches and the delusion and the accountability and the stress be real. We can do it, and to really gain something out of it. But I mean, obviously you're getting a couple of dollars for the people that probably is doing it. That's why they spinning the clip every day. Black woman said this, baby mother with this said this, baby how dare she. You know what I mean? You spinning the clip, so it could get over. You know what I mean? Oversaturated and nauseating. It can be. You know what I mean? That's why I keep blow past that shit. For me personally, when I'm looking for whatever it is that I'm looking for. Because you do see the titles in the thumbnail and you're like, all right, another reaction video to a woman with 3 kids saying she want a nigga that's 6'1", six-pack, $6 million, no kids, 600, you know what I mean? 5,000 credit score. All right already. You know what I mean? We know she ain't getting that shit, and if she do, then good for her. Like, I mean, you do you. But I guess because, Nas came out, Kevin did the joint, and she came back out on the Joe Buttons. I still ain't watched the whole interview yet. I mean, talking about the weave and this and this and that. And the thing is it oversaturated with the channels? I don't think it's oversaturated with the channel. I just think probably more people are tuning in because certain people has risen to popularity. Oh, backed by popular demand. You should call me uncle. Probably because people hate so much, or maybe what you don't like what's being said. So you become the air so the fire can breathe, and then that fire just keeps growing and growing and growing. And there's nothing runs more rampant than propaganda, whether it's CNN, whether it's your other favorite YouTuber, podcaster. If you fucking with them, and I spoke about this on the other video, all jokes aside. Like, people could be saying some of the wildest shit, but if people rock with them, they backing that shit. Not everybody, obviously. Like, yo, do something to the kids or some cult crazy shit. But you look at the cults, you look at the Jim Jones, right? Not the rapper, the nigga he named himself after. You know what I mean? Or whatever. With the cult, made him drink the shit, they killed each other, and you see different people, they do different things. People follow, and that's, you could Google people that hate Jesus, and you know what I mean? It'll be a group that people that hate Jesus, like, you know what I mean? Or whatever it is. You'll find some people, selective or not, or as little as possible or not. The point is, there's sections for this shit, you know what I mean? All over YouTube, all over the world, all over parts of different countries. There's sections of people that think the same, they move the same, and they follow. So if it's fuckery that they following, then they champion it, you know what I mean? And even for somebody like her, I spoke about this, to rap about one thing, then say something totally different. But the point is, I don't think it's too many channels. I think it's just, you know what I mean? Obviously, it's just a lot of content coming out because this is what we making relevant as the topics. You know what I mean? And rightfully so. You ain't gonna move forward until you fix your own backyard. I said, don't you gonna throw rocks, in a glass house, or you throwing rocks, live in a glass house, or however the saying goes. Like, and then the best saying, which is the saying of all, is, the Most High won't fix the condition of the people until they first fix the condition within themselves. Shout outs, my nigga. So you need leadership. You know what I mean? You need order. Without order is chaos, and that's why the jungle and their system move the way it moves. It don't move no other way just because somebody feel like, oh nah, I'm gonna go over here and do this shit today. Oh nah, this shit is set up to where 4 months it's gonna rain, 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 rain. Then after that, it's not gonna be no more rains. what was once a pond or a little river or whatever, that shit gonna dry up. And for the next 8 months, it's gonna be dry over here. That shit don't change. I mean, it may change over times and hundreds of years or whatever it is. But the thing is, the system is set the way it is so that it can run the way that it runs. Once you start having people, you know what I mean, like the kids, like, oh, I'm the parent now, you be the child. Like that shit ain't working. You know what I mean? And so you just gotta learn how to admit, like, nah, out of line, leadership. So I don't think it's to answer the question. I don't think it's enough channels, and obviously she on the pro, fem type vibes and women this, woman could do anything, and you can get your results that you want. But the point is, I just think that now it might be because it's more phones, it's more it's more platforms. It's gonna keep popping up with platforms. Last what 2 years, 3 years, TikTok. Tomorrow is going to be some other shit. You know what I mean? Or 4 years from now, it's going to be some other shit. As the kids grow, technology, that's whack now. You know what I mean? MySpace is so old now. Facebook is old. Twitter is old. Instagram is old. TikTok is old. Breaking the Mold, Scorpion, whatever, you know what I mean? Whatever new shit we on, you know what I mean? And motherfucking Total Recall, you know what I mean? The first one, what was I was about to say, so what's the nigga? With Sylvester Stallone and this dude. Right? Put the mask on and was having simulated, sex with Sandra Bullock. And I was saying Total Recall, but that's not what I meant to say. Demolition Man, when they froze them. You see shit in the movies and you say, man, you know what I mean? So we know shit ain't gonna stay the same because Tony, there was no other way. We in the end game now. And we know shit is subject to change. Soon as they feel like, you know what I mean, putting a spin on it. So yeah, it's gonna be more channels. Just like you able to go from ESPN and jump on your own platform and get your own website, and now you on Spotify and whatever it is, whatever platforms you on, Anchor and whatever it is. And I think celebrities or you can see she's a celebrity. I mean, she well known. Like I said, she well known. People like her, the Nicki Minaj's, they don't want people that's regular like myself and people that got podcasts and shows and shit. Because they in the public eyes, like only they want their cake and eat it too. Like, we want to live our lives publicly. We want to have our failures, and we don't want nobody to say nothing. But we want the glory at the same time, but we don't want you to critique. And then it's like, nah, this shit is set up like I could just put the camera on and press live, and you got people making fools out of themselves, and the buffoonery remains at an all-time high. People get on here talking crazy, then you're getting sued and calling business pussy's thing, and you know what I mean, nigga got robbed or got 5 baby mothers and you don't know what you're talking about, and nigga not paying child support, and you wrong, your channel get, you know what I mean. But the point is, some gonna be more popping than others, some gonna catch flames, and they may have the same star power as you, dare we say, like, I put out no records. Some YouTubers or, people that self-made and they built a brand and people was following them. Like I was just saying, good or bad, following them, going what they say, like, you know what I mean, defending them, like, you know what I mean, even with the, you know what I mean, the polite, going from 125th in downtown Brooklyn, being in prison, coming home, you know what I mean, building the brand, then social media come, learning how this shit work and figuring it out. So where you build up and you giving courses, and then, you know what I mean, you allegedly maybe kind of sort of was in the hotel room and woo, and then, obviously you are innocent until proven guilty, because a woman can say anything and you got to prove that it's not true. We did a video on that. That's why it's not equal like a circle. A man can't just say, yeah, this is X, Y, Z, and they're going to come haul her ass off the prison till you figure it out on the bat line. That is not happening. You know what I mean? It's not happening unless you was it Norma or what the Eddie Murphy joint? Can't think, you know what I mean? Yeah, I think it was Norma, unless you him. You know what I mean? And you with her. Negative. But on the other end, we know. So you're going to get proved guilty until not. And it's like, all right, cool. Where do we go from here when you get accused of maybe kind of sort of being in the hotel room with a minor and giving her drugs and all that? People still was in the comments like, nah, you know what I mean? And again, you have to be, have your day in court. But my point was, when they follow you, when they rock with you, when they all the way tuned in, it gotta be something really, really wild and crazy, hardcore evidence to prove that you didn't do it. I mean, that you did it for them to believe. Like, nah, they would never. You know what I mean? And the thing is, again, when you these entertainers and these performers and these athletes, you don't want regular people that got channels now and shows to just get up there and start talking about you like, oh, this nigga made a dumbass. You know what I mean? Or you start the Dante Murray. Listen, you know what I mean? You rocking with, you know what I mean? Somebody ex or baby moms or whatever. Or, just the PJ Washingtons when you mess with the Brittany Renners and, you don't want nobody. You don't want to be a story. You know what I mean? Yet you want to still have everything that comes with being famous or having money or going to the clubs or doing whatever. Nah, people can talk because they've been doing it. That's the thing. Like social media and iPhone 12s and 11s and all that shit that's it's just magnify what people already been doing. And it's showing you who the voices is for the people that's not hiding. Like Pop Up Is TV, like we full transparency. You know what I mean? That means we not hiding. Come on in. Everything is open. And if you not hiding, we can see you. If you ain't hiding behind some bum ass avatar, some Lexi Diamond Louis name, you know what I mean? Or whatever your name is. People been doing this shit in the barbershops, in the hair salon, on the basketball court, after school, in the game room, wherever it was, at your man house. We've been having these conversations about certain things. It's just now that, yeah, we got TVs, we got intros, we got people tuning in. Like, yeah, kid, that feeling, yeah. And so you could be mad, but it is what it is. You could be mad, but niggas not going nowhere. Unless they shut all this shit down. Every day as the videos going up about the same. Sometimes though it do get overwhelming. It's like, all right, how many videos you gonna do for certain people? And it's like, nah, that's how they get into the bag. They capitalizing and they exploiting. Like those black movies, The Shaft and Cleopatra and Foxy Brown and you know what I mean? All those hustlers and Superfly. They just, you know what I mean, showing you that shit and they're exploiting it. Same thing with these fucking reality shows. Now you a reality star, like everybody loves a star when he's on the top. Michael Jackson reference. And you do the most just to get on these shows and show your ass and you know what I mean? Just to get people to look at you. So they exploit that. The Mona Loves and whoever else behind these joints. You know what I mean? You got the Jocelyn real quick. Speaking of, I just did a video on Stevie, you know what I mean? Getting head in the whip and not crashing it. NRE, like, you know what I mean? Getting head in the interview and not crashing it. And Shorty just stayed online. But, his old joint, she got the show, the cabaret, and you know what I mean? I don't tune in at all. But allegedly, maybe, kind of, sort of, she be dragging those young women. I know I seen one of the clips for the season. Joint just had an abortion, you know what I mean? Like, then you show up to the audition because you just had the audition. Oh, it was some wild story. And it was just like, really? They're going to really push this shit on the masses? Like, when you put the beat on, you'll be shocked and amazed. But on the contrary, when you put the beat on, I'm not shocked and amazed. Rest in peace, Bismarck. I'm not shocked and amazed. It's the second season or whatever season it is, but she dragging ladies, you know what I mean, whoever on the show or the strippers. And, I guess they snapshotted a couple of receipts or recorded some shit they was supposed to record for the back line on the back end. Like, yeah, we going to wait for this go ahead, bitch. And that's allegedly. We going to wait for this, you know what I mean, shorty to do whoop. Then we going to put the receipts on social media and get the lawsuit. And that's what they doing. So you got to watch what you say. But, you know what I mean, there's people like that. You put your life online and people capitalize off it. You know what I mean? And so that's all some of these brothers is doing. Some of these chicks, you know how many channels? This is for about the same amount of channels of channels that I've seen for men, I guess, going at women, if you will. It's the same with women showing how to finesse niggas, talking about they whole face, talking about this, talking about that, talking about baby fathers ain't shit, and the Pookies and Ray Rays, and ooh, Like you, red pill, blue pill. You know what I mean? You out here making these decisions, ain't you? You're an adult, ain't you? You out here, you know what I mean, picking and choosing your decisions, right? Nobody forcing you, right? Nobody putting a gun in your head. So what we really talking about? Unless you're just talking about the growth and what you learn from those said mistakes / lessons, that's the only thing you really could be sharing. That's my approach. I'm never, you know what I mean? I'm never gonna get on here and while on the women's side, like I said, most women in my family is married, and then a lot of the male figures that I had wasn't my pops. I don't even know my biological pops. You know what I mean? but I still had male figures around me that, you know what I mean? So I always had, you know what I mean, with male. And even in that, you still may have some misguided energy, or you may still not know what direction to go. So you do a couple of bonehead things and you wild out and you gotta learn. And you get with niggas in the street that you think, you know what I mean, got your best interest, and you learn from that as well. And the cycle goes on. You know what I mean? But the thing is, somebody stepped in, so never gonna clown them either. Even though I see where some of the men's feel, where they be like, yeah, you're supposed to build your own, never take, you know what I mean, and never take on another. I get both, and I've been and I've seen, so have experience in both, and you'd be surprised if my take, and if you don't know what it is, it's not for right now. You can go see the other video that I did on this, speak about this as well. You know what I mean? Because that's who I am as a man. But I just think it's like it's over pushed, it's oversold. It's not really that serious. Men lead and women get in line, follow suit, and if not, then challenge and show why you should. You know what I mean? But either way, if you're not getting the outcome that you desire, then it's all for what? To prove who you really trying to prove wrong. You really should just be trying to prove yourself that you can get whatever it is that you want. If you think you can get everything in the world, then go get it. You know what I mean? What's for you will come to you, and if it's not for you, no matter how hard you keep busting your head against the wall, because that's what the white man wants you to do. Side note, and I'm just playing when I put the race in there. That's the Malcolm X movie reference. You know what I mean? When he was in prison. Go busting your head against the wall. That's what the white man wants you to do. I'm being funny. But you could bust your head against the wall 1,000,000 times till the blood come out. Not to prove to me that you're going to get the outcome, but to prove to yourself. And then go get everything you can get. If you think the best way to do it is by doing it the way you're doing it, then go ahead. You know what I mean? Single ladies tell them put a ring on, where is that? You know what I mean? Or you got 5 different kids or whatever, or even for the fellas that's crying, child support, like I said, niggas locked up. Ooh, yeah, I'm sure some of those cases was true that I was told y'all about when I was like, I don't believe this shit. But you still decided to nut in them. You still decided to take the condom off. You still decided to indulge and deal with a chick like that when you knew what it was hitting for. Right? Right. So you could say, damn, I fucked up. And you done fucked up, right? And now you recounting and let me count the ways. We can listen to you and have empathy for you, like, damn, yeah, that is fucked up. You was dealing with it, you know what I mean? Shorty like that, Shanae, she did you crazy, you took your credit, took your kids, did all that. Damn, that's fucked up. But we gonna learn from it. But other than that, what do you want? You know what I mean, what do you want us to do? It is what it is. So it's the same thing for y'all, ladies. Yeah, you picked these niggas, you made those choices, and that's you. And it is what it is. You could be mad that people are talking about it now, but no matter where you go, there you are. You know what I mean? So you can go far, you know what I mean? Or you really can't run and go far, because no matter where you go, there you are. That's a Trek reference. And we going to go far because we up out of here. You already know what it is. You was just tuned in. Popovich TV. That's the shit that I call my show. We live, we rolling, we unscripted, so we do what we want over here. We authentic, that feeling. Back up in here one more again. Yeah, kid.